Dow Jones had its worst day since June after a key inflation report came out. Joining us tonight to talk about what this means for your investments is Matt Farkas from Germain Investments. Matt, thank you for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so major stock market indexes tumbled today after a key measure of inflation came in worse than expected. What can you tell us about this latest report?
So coming into today, the consensus expectation was that overall prices were actually going to decline this month, but they actually increased this month slightly, which was enough of a surprise for markets to lead to a really volatile day.
The Fed is expected to announce another interest rate hike later this month. How do you think that will impact inflation?
Yeah, so the Fed will announce their decision a week from tomorrow. It's widely expected that they'll raise interest rates, and as things look today, it's likely that they'll raise again in November when they meet and again in December when they meet. The Fed, when they're raising interest rates, a good way to think about it is that they're essentially tapping the brakes on the economy with the hope that they can cool off inflation without causing a recession.
Many people, I'm sure, are having questions once again. What are you telling your clients? Do you have any advice for people who may be concerned about those investments?
Yeah, those are good questions and one that are very common. First, around inflation, I guess the first thing I would point out is there's reason for optimism. The first thing I would point out is just gas prices, a very important commodity that we all need to heat our homes and to fuel our cars. Just 3 months ago, we were all looking at $5 a gallon gas. As we're talking today, gas is around $3.50 or so per gallon, which is a tremendous move down. And in addition, what the Fed is doing with raising interest rates, that will have an impact on inflation. With regards to investments, today was definitely a challenging day. A very volatile day that's very uncomfortable for everybody. The best advice that I can give for something like today is to not make a rash, emotional decision. If you have a long-term plan, it really does pay to stick with it. If you don't have a current plan, really reach out to a professional. That's someone that can help you come up with a plan that you can stick to over the long run.
As we wait for these prices to go back down. All right, Matt Farkas from Germain Investments. Matt, thank you as always for your insight tonight.
Thank you.